In this video, we're going to be reviewing your open source projects and GitHub profile. So let's have a look. First up, we have Tahir. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. I really like it that you got a profile picture that is you. It looks really personal, like you feel like you know the person, which is great. You got your location, like super important. You got your email twice, so that probably isn't needed. I would keep it clean, like your attention to detail reflects how you would do your work, be it design, coding, or whatever it is. So I would look at your profile in private browsing and see what other people see. So I would say, remove the duplicate email. You got your Twitter, which is great. Other socials too, which is really good. Maybe try and join some organizations. Hint, you can come and join us in EddieHub and come geek out with us. You can add that there. I like it that you've got a banner that's animated. I don't know if you made that or if it's like something you can get. If you've made it and it's unique to you, that is an extra 10 points straight away. You've got about me, and then you've got kind of, hi in your name, but they're both kind of the same weighting in heading. So I think that's not good for accessibility, and it's not like a great kind of layout. So you probably want the first one to be a H1, like so a single hash in Markdown, and then this second one to be a H2 or two hashes. So let's see. I mean, do you need both? Your name is here on the left. Maybe remove the name here. Have a play and see how it works and what you think looks good. I really like these. These are the standard templates I think that you get when you're customizing your GitHub profile, but I really like them. I think they're really good. Got your socials, tech stack. You got a few widgets, and that's fine. I'm not a huge fan of the widgets, as you all know. Let me know what you all think of widgets. Do you think they're good to have on your profile? Let me know in the comments below. And you got animated GIF, which I don't think really adds value, so I would definitely remove that. And you got one pinned repo that hasn't got a description or anything like that, so add a bit more. And then I'll probably add a second pinned repo, right? Make use of this kind of space on the side. Otherwise, looks good. You've been, active over the last couple of months. Just keep going. I hope that helps. And let's move on to the next one. So next up, we have another profile which doesn't exist. So that's really not a good start. People have submitted theirs, but as you can see, I'm quite behind on catching up with these. So maybe they renamed their user, which isn't a great thing to do. Try and keep the same GitHub username because so many things like link into that and tie into that and so forth. But I appreciate you might, after some time, want to change it if you chose like a gaming name, you're something more professional. Next up is a project. So let's have a look. So we've got this project X test, got a couple of stars. And what's your first impressions when you look at a GitHub repo that you're thinking of using? My first impression is that it hasn't been active for a while, since March, and it's failing the build, which doesn't look very promising. So it's not like a great start, but it's good that they've got a description so you can understand what the project is. They've got some topics here as well. They've got no releases and packages, so I would hide those if not using them. I would definitely use releases. You can create those manually or automate them with a GitHub action. So I would put something in there, but with packages, you don't have to use packages. So I would hide packages until you need it. Your contributors and language, and you seem to be consistent in your naming convention here, which is really good. You seem to have a good README as well, which I really like, which looks nice. Issues and pull requests, there aren't many numbers there, so I'm guessing the project isn't so active anymore. If you're not using the wiki, which most places aren't, I would hide the wiki tab. You can change that in settings. Again, you just want to show what people can use in the project. There's no point having stuff if you're not using them. You're using GitHub Actions, which is great, and you're kind of using discussions as well. But a few tweaks and improvements there. I'm guessing the project isn't active so much anymore, but you can take those ideas and apply them to any repository that you're working on now, or any that you're working on too. Let's go on to the next one. We have a profile. Let's have a look. Okay, so profile, again, I really like this profile picture. You can see the person, it's clear, like you feel like you know them. You've got their name, and their username is really close to the name, which is super important. You've got a description about you, which I think is great. You're following people, some people are following you. Again, it looks real, right? The account doesn't feel like a bot account. It feels real. You've written you're looking for opportunities, really clever. I like that. You got your email. You've got a bio link. You should check out our open source link free project. It's much better. Let me know what you think. And you got your Twitter, which is brilliant. brilliant. Achievements and also some organization. Looks good. Really like the banner. Did you make that yourself, Nikhil? I really like that banner. Although I've seen similar ones, so I'm not sure if people have just copied the style or it's a kind of a one that everyone's kind of downloaded. I like this at the beginning here as well, what you're up to. And you've got this widget, one widget, not too many, so that's really good. You've got 6 pinned, and I think I always recommend 4, but I think you could have 6 pinned because your profile, the customized version, isn't too big. So I think that works well. And you've been pretty consistent throughout the year. I would definitely try and do a little bit more on issues. I think pull requests and code reviews are in double figures. Well, code review is just in double figures. So I think that's okay. I would try and do a bit more on issues as well. But otherwise, I think your profile is looking really good. Just keep going. Next up, we have a project. So let's have a look at this project. So no activity in a while. So like maybe 1.5 years, let's say. But we can still review it and we can still use these same ideas for any repository. So another thing I like to do is check the Insights tab. But you'll notice along the top here is the wiki's hidden because it's not being used, which is great. I mean, it's important to have documentation, but I really believe having a docs folder in your project is much better than having a wiki section. So definitely have documentation, but make it part of the project. Okay, so let's go to Insights. And we can go to community standards and we can see there's no description on the repo, which is really important. There is a README, there's no code of conduct, no contributing guide, and the others I would say are optional after that. So I usually break this down to high priority and medium priority. So the high priorities are missing a few. As you can see, there's no description here on the side. No releases, definitely create one. Hide packages. You got the deployment there, which is great. You have got a README, but there isn't much in it. So you probably want some more information on how people can get started on the project. So yes, I would definitely look into that. The README is the most important file in your project. It is a hard file to get right. So you're never going to get it right first time. You're not going to get it right second or 10th time either. It takes time. So just keep working on it little and often, and the README will get better and better. But using the main branch as your default branch, which is great, I think that is looking good. And you're not using GitHub Actions yet. GitHub Actions is just freaking amazing. I'd highly recommend that. A way to get started is you could go into your package JSON file and have a look at what scripts you've got, and you've got tests, which actually hasn't got any tests, so you could probably skip that, but you have got to start. So I would say try and run the project and build the project in a GitHub Action. Just make sure it works. Maybe even lint it or something like that. Just make sure there's no typos. Even in the kind of most basic check is really important. So when you've got pull requests coming in, you can just check that actually, you know what, this code kind of runs. But I hope that helps. I enjoy looking at people's projects and I always learn from them as well. So super interesting. So thank you very much for sharing. Okay, let's have a look. The last one is a profile. I've had a good mix in this video. So here we've got the profile picture. It looks techie, looks geeky, but it's not of the person. I get it. If someone really doesn't want the picture of themselves, then make it unique to you. Can you create something? Can you do a pet or something like that? Or maybe I don't know, you looking out into the landscape and it's a picture from behind you, so you don't get your face, but it's you, so it's unique. Ideally, it's your face and people can see your eyes. I think that's really important. So you've got where you're working, you've got your location, you've got some links down here, really good, some achievements, no organizations. Try and get some organizations here. I'd also add a description, like what tech are you interested in, what you're learning. Make it personal, make it as easy as possible for people to understand. You've got 5 pinned. I would recommend pinning 4 or 6, like an even number. Also recommend customizing your GitHub profile. That just makes it so much more personal. And definitely pin an even number. I think that's important. You've had a kind of a really good contribution spell here, and then it's a bit quiet before and a bit quiet afterwards. It's fine to take breaks. I would try and keep it consistently rolling if possible. It's very commit heavy, which is really normal. But if you can, try and do some more code reviews and then issues and then pull requests, I think it will make your profile look a lot stronger. I hope that helped. Let me know what you think of these profiles in the comments below, and let me know more about your profile. Come and geek out with me every day in the EddieHub Discord, and I'm full-time on the link-free projects. If you want to get involved in open source and geek out with us, you know where to find me. Link in the description below. I'll see you there.